Recently, a student from GATI called me and said, "Sir, I have flown so and so hours on this aircraft called as Pipistrel Virus SW121 aircraft." Now, she also says her friends have flown on this aircraft a lot of hours and they have applied for their commercial pilot license. The DGCA has rejected, saying those students who are applying for their commercial pilot license flew on this aircraft will not be awarded the license because this aircraft is a light sport aircraft and it is not meant to train commercial pilots. The question was, will my hours that I flew on this pipistrel aircraft will ever be counted for my issuance of commercial pilot license or CPL, was the question asked by her. I did a digging for past 7 days into this matter and I conclude these things. I will conclude this video in 3 parts. First, what is the actual classification of this aircraft? Is it LSA or is it meant to train commercial pilots? Second thing, if you see a lot of news articles says this, I want to show you this clipping that came in the Hindu, which says DGCA's U-turn on trainer aircraft leaves student pilots in the lurch. DGCA's U-turn, what does it mean? U-turn. See, 40 students flew this aircraft from GATI and now are uncertain because the DGCA has withdrawn its approval for Pipistrel SW121 aircraft. This, if you take all the news articles and read them, I understood that the operator of GATI has been saying that DGCA has approved this aircraft for commercial training purposes. Now it has withdrawn its approval, right? It says withdrawn its approval or reclassified this aircraft as LSA. Now, in this video, I will talk about 3 points. 1. What is the classification of this aircraft? Is it an LSA or can it be used for commercial pilot training in India? Was there any time when DGCA approved this aircraft? It is not LSA, you can use it for commercial pilot training. Was it ever done by DGCA? Second point. So that is the first point. Second point would be, will DGCA ever issue CPL to these students who has flown the aircraft, that is the Pipistrel from GATI? Will they ever get a license, commercial pilot license? Yes or no? The third point would be, if they are not getting, that means they have been misguided to fly this aircraft. Who is responsible for this kind of misguidance? Who should compensate the students? Is it DGCA or is it GATI? Now, what is this aircraft? Is it an LSA or not? Let's see. First, we will discuss what does manufacturer say. Next, we will discuss what does EASA say about it and what does DGCA had said about this aircraft. First, we will see manufacturer. Manufacturer is Pipistrel. Okay, Pipistrel. So this is the official website of Pipistrel. Pipistrel ka official website. In this, if you go to products, in products you will find Virus SW under the section of light sport. I'll just move myself from here so that you can clearly see. So it is a light sport aircraft and there is no doubt about it because the manufacturer himself has said it is a light sport aircraft. First thing, now let's see what does EASA has to say about it. EASA TCDS. What is TCDS? It is type certificate data sheets. That means, for example, if I manufacture an aircraft in India, DGCA certifies what type of aircraft is it. Now EASA certified because it was manufactured in not in India, because it was manufactured in Europe. Now the type certification data sheet of EASA, let's download it. Let's search the aircraft Virus. Okay, see, Virus SW121, same aircraft. Now let us download this certificate. Okay, for convenience I will zoom in. If you see here, type certificate data sheet for Virus SW121. Now note this number, EASA A573. This is important. I'll tell you why in next 5 minutes. If you come here, see the type or model Virus SW121. This is the certification. Here it says airworthiness requirements में certification, specifications and acceptable means of compliance for LSA, light sport aeroplane. So EASA itself says this is a light sport aeroplane. Now, here you please don't get misguided by this normal. It is not normal. See, airworthiness category normal, it has nothing to do with the certification. I also got confused for a bit, and I have cross-checked with my seniors, with a lot of people, with actual engineers. It is not related to the certification. The certification of this aircraft will stand as light sport aeroplane only. Now, let's see what DGCA has to say about this aircraft. What did DGCA really say? Like in news, it classified this as, oh, do it for commercial operations. Now you don't do, we are withdrawing the, we'll see what he say. I'm excited to show you this. Now, if you go to DGCA, go to aircraft. Here, if you come to aircraft under type certification, like I said, see, if an aircraft is manufactured in India, the type certification will be issued by DGCA, but this aircraft is not manufactured in India. So what DGCA does is, it will either accept or reject the certification given by EASA. Now, come to aircraft. Acceptance of type certificate. That means these are the aircrafts which are not manufactured in India, but the certificate has been accepted by DGCA, whatever the certification given by the respective EASA or any board as such which is responsible for that. If you come here, I believe, okay, Virus SW121 aircraft, acceptance of type certification has been done, and see the certificate number EASA A573 has been accepted by DGCA. That means DGCA itself has accepted this certificate given by EASA for this aircraft Virus SW121 as a light sport aeroplane. Right? Now, let me show you something else. Let's again go to DGCA. In this DGCA, now let's see what it has told to GATI, the operator of the aircraft. Personal FTOs, Flight Training Organization. See the date, May 2023. This list has been updated on May 2023. In this list, it is in alphabetical order. If you go to, okay, Government Training Aviation Institute, GATI, right? DGCA clearly mentions on its website, it has 3 single engines, 2 Cessna 172 and 1 Cessna 152, and it has 2 light sport aircraft, Virus SW so and so Victor Tango Delta Papa Alpha, Virus SW so and so Victor Tango Delta Papa Bravo. So that means these 2 aircraft DGCA has recognized as light sport aircraft. Like, let's say DGCA has never recognized this, but did the Flight Training Organization fly even after 2023 May on this aircraft, I mean for commercial pilot license, then who is the culprit. Next, I will address the second question. See, from now on, the timeline is very important. So first, what happened? The students were flown on this aircraft, they completed their requirements for CPL, and then they approached DGCA. DGCA for the first time got alerted. Still, in spite of so many times saying this to flying school, the students are flying on this aircraft, and they have rejected, saying, I'm sorry, we are sorry, you will not be given licenses if you have flown on this aircraft. Now, they also sent a letter to GATI. This letter has been, circulated in Telegram channels. So I'll show you the letter. So this is the letter addressed to GATI by DGCA. It says regarding the classification of the aircraft, Pistol Virus SW121 aircraft. It says in 3 sentences or 3 paragraphs. Okay. The first paragraph, it says the certification basis was LSA according to EASA A573. Let me explain. See, this we have discussed, right? EASA has certified this aircraft Virus SW121 according to this certificate number EASA A573 as light sport aircraft or light sport aeroplane. So that is what is mentioned. So dated 2013, let's say 2018, or they say 2019. Okay. In second paragraph, it says here In 2023 May, we have published the list of FTOs, DGCA approved flying training organizations, along with the details of the aircraft set. In that also, they mentioned these aircraft as light sport aircraft, which we have seen on the DGCA website, some time back. Now, notwithstanding the above, that means you have ignored the above things and you have asked a query that, give us a classification of this aircraft. Again, you have put up a query. Now, what DGCA did, it put a committee consisting of experts from various directorates of DGCA regarding classification of this aircraft, Crystal Virus SW121. After this committee, consisting of various experts from different directorates of DGCA, it also says it is a light sport aircraft or light sport aeroplane, right? So now I want you to carefully see the dates. This letter was issued by DGCA on 26th of February 2024. Now, if you see here, newspapers started rolling the news on, let's say this news has come out on 4th of March. If you take this news, the news has come on 7th March. So I'll show you a clipping from the newspaper. This has been sent to me by a student from GATI. See, I am a doctor. I have been associated with a government medical college for a long time. I know politics. I know them a lot. I have seen them a lot. And when I see something like a clipping in the newspaper, I know how to read it. So let me show how I read this newspaper. This news, whatever it is, if you see this line, according to flying school, that means this news is given to the newspaper by the flying school. Okay, newspaper, they did not, investigate this. This was given to newspaper by the flying school, first point. And what is this news? The particular plane has been changed to light sport aeroplane. So that means the flying school is putting up in news that the DGCA has changed it to a light sport aeroplane, right? Even if you see here, the petition alleged the regulator suddenly and arbitrarily changed classification of this aircraft. Here, did any time, in this whole video, DG said this is DGCA or the manufacturer or the EASA? Anybody said this is not a LSA? Your manufacturer himself on his, website put this aircraft under the heading of light sport aeroplane. Here, what is this here? So this news is very much misleading in my understanding. See, who am I? I'm a guy with a common sense. So when I read news, not every news is correct. Not every news, is guiding in the correct way. So I definitely see this news are really, really misguiding the actual thing that is happening regarding this issue. This is my understanding and my understanding only. Coming to the second part of our discussion, will these students who flew this aircraft, will they ever be issued a license by DGCA, commercial pilot license? Yes or no? So for this, we have to look at DGCA's website where there are aircraft rules 1937. Let's go to DGCA website. Okay, it's already there. See, regulations and guidance. See, aircraft rules 1937. In the aircraft rules 1937, if you go to schedules, in this aircraft personnel, so these are the different types of licenses that DGCA issues. In this, if you go light sport aircraft pilot's license, in this under experience, it is clearly written, he shall produce evidence of satisfactorily completing not less than 40 hours of flight time on light sport aircraft. That means if you have flown this aircraft, which is a light sport aircraft, you will get a pilot license for light sport aircraft, right? So now I'll show you something else also, a bit interesting. Private pilot's license for aeroplanes. If you see this in experience for private pilot license PPL, read this sentence. Solo flight time completed on light sport aircraft within preceding 2 years from the date of application, that is the day you apply for your license. 20 hours may be counted towards the total experience. That means, see, PPL requires total 40 hours. If you have done solo, for 20 hours on a light sport aircraft, it will be counted as your experience for a private pilot license. Now let's come to what it says about commercial pilot license. Commercial pilot license aeroplanes. Yes. In this, I went through this line, this paragraph. It tells you nowhere that you can fly LSA to get a license. For example, if I fly a glider, if I have experience on glider, if I learn how to fly glider, I will get a glider's license. Yes or no? If I fly a balloon, I will get a balloon license. You cannot fly a LSA and go and ask DGCA to give you, commercial pilot license, for the aeroplane. Correct? So commercial pilot license for the aeroplane doesn't say you can fly a LSA, light sport aircraft, to obtain one. So in my opinion, DGCA will never give the students, I'm sorry, really sorry to say, DGCA will never give you license based on your hours flying on this aircraft. I love my school a lot, especially my headmaster, the guy who looks after us. I grew up in a hostel. His name was Wilson sir. So one afternoon, we were sitting and just talking. He said, it is not that how many times you get kicked down. It is about how many times you are going to get back in life. See, I understand the students of GATI who flew this aircraft are facing a time where life has kicked you down. This is your life, right? The case is in court. It may take years to solve, but as far as my understanding, see, like there is IPC, Indian Penal Code, like there is CRPC. All these things are the books or law which tells the court to give a judgment, how to give a judgment. Same way, the aircraft rules 1937 are the rules which the court even has to follow to give the judgment. As far as my understanding, I know that this is not going to be in your favor. Now, I did a further digging thinking GATI is a government aviation training institute. The full form of GATI is Government Training Aviation Institute. I wanted to understand where was the problem, where did all things go haywire. So now I found out things which were very surprising. First of all, GATI is no more a government institute. It is a public-private partnership. If you take the official website of GATI, I'll copy paste it here. So this is the official website of GATI. Here, if you go to about team, so it says these are the people who is managing GATI. If you see here, Captain Sumir is the accountable manager, Captain Randeep is mentor, and the CEO of GATI, Chief Executive Officer of GATI, is Captain Jati Dillon. Now, I also wanted to contact the pipistrel, manufacturer. Is there something they can do about this confusion? But to my surprise, I was astonished. I mean, I couldn't believe my own eyes. I will show you this. If you go to pipistrel, if you go to service and support, so I wanted to find out if there is in support or where I can contact them. And yeah, so as soon as I type India, do you see the Indian distributor for this aircraft is the same guy, Captain Jati Dillon. Now the question is, being the CEO of this GATI and being the distributor of this aircraft, is it really possible for him to make a mistake that this aircraft is an LSA or not? The distributor will know, right, what he is trying to sell. So it came to me as a shock. This is the reason I made this video, and I want everybody to understand this is something very wrong. As far as my understanding, if I was the student of GATI, I would not go to court against DGC or something. Again, you guys are being very much misguided. I would go to school. I would ask the school to get my flying done on the actual 172 or 152, which they still have. You have seen like there are 3 aircrafts with them. So get my flying done again. So I clearly understand this is not a mistake, and I will not comment on, or I don't know what was the you know whole scenario is about. So what is it? Monetary benefit, whatever it may be. For me, I have paid my money. I want my license. So get my flying done on an aircraft which is approved by DGCA. Done, dusted, and dot. This is what I would do. If you are a parent of a student who flew this aircraft in GATI, I am really sorry. We all love our sons and daughters. It will boil our blood when their career comes to a question, right? Without their mistake. The point is, here you can go, or I suggest, in my opinion, 3 ways to go about the current scenario. It is only my opinion, it is only my suggestion. You need not follow these 3, or you can ignore this video completely, but I suggest. Here, who am I to suggest? I'm a guy who has seen worst case scenarios than this in aviation. I'm a guy with a common sense. I'm a guy who wish a very good luck to the students. Why? Here, imagine a 21-year-old kid or 18, 19-year-old kid taking on a runway, taking off on a runway in an aircraft. That is the best feeling here, I imagine. Because at that age, I wanted to become a pilot. I couldn't. Right? Now, after paying so much amount of money and someone is denied of that feeling, I felt bad. That hurt me. Right? So, yes, I thought I should say my concern. I should show my concern. I should at least say what I think is right on this scenario. Right? So I am just a guy who is trying to help you out. So your son might choose one of these 3 ways. Your daughter might choose one of these 3 ways. First way, whatever hours your son has flown on this pipistrel, consider that money has gone into gutter. If you have money to spend again, go to a different flying school and fly those hours again and get a CPL. Why? Do you think this issue will solve in 1 week, 1 month, 6 months, 1 year? As far as I understand, this is going to take years. So let your son move on in his career. Let him use this time to build his career. Get a license, go fly for an airline, enjoy the aircraft. So that is one scenario. If you can afford it, if it was me and if my son is in this scenario, if I will be able to afford it, I would go through this path. Second thing, or second type of parents who might have taken a loan to make their son a pilot, right? They cannot take another loan, right? So what they can do, I suggest, instead of roaming around the courts, ask the flying school to get those hours on pipistrel done again on an approved aircraft. They have 3 aircrafts, right, which are approved, 2 172s and 1 152. So demand, see, this is my opinion. I'm not pushing anybody anywhere. This is what I would do if I don't have money. I would ask, this is this thing, this is this thing, these are the certificates or websites of DGCA, the pipistrel, the EASA. So I believe that the mistake is not on DGCA side. I believe this is the right thing to kind of get my sons or daughters flying done from your flying school again on a recognized aircraft or approved aircraft. So this is the right thing. Please do right towards my son. That is what I would ask the flying school. Or the third way, I believe it is a very wrong way. Again, I believe. I am not saying I am right. I am saying I just believe. You guys can roam around the courts for many years, and believe me, I don't think the judgment is going to be in your favor, because always the judgment goes by the books, by the law. And in my understanding, see, I'm not a guy who can talk about the law. I am no one. I am really no one. This is just my opinion. I'm a guy with a common sense. I'm a guy who knows how things work around in aviation and in real life. That's it. So it is really up to you what you want to do. And yeah, Dear parents, I'm really sorry that you are in the situation. And dear students, I'm really sorry that you are in the situation. But from the bottom of my heart, I would really wish you a very good luck.